On this episode of Epic Conditions, the invisible element of wind has always captivated man's imagination, but few have succeeded in harnessing the power of its destructive nature.
You're dealing with so much raw power. Everything's fast. Everything is too powerful. You don't have time to react.
In the birthplace of human flight, the next generation of sporting pioneers has come to discover a new form of flying.
There's very few sports out there you can learn how to fly.
In 20 years, the sport of kiteboarding has exploded. At the center of the action are North Carolina's Outer Banks.
This is the mecca of kiteboarding.
But the wind that fuels kiteboarders can also deliver serious danger.
It was blowing really hard, like 60 miles an hour. It was like suicidal. One little tiny mess up and you're skipping across the water like a rock.
Wind and water unite to propel an already revolutionary sport to greater heights.
It's wind, water, and power. He's just a crowd pleaser. Wherever that guy goes and rides, instantly people want to know who he is. Can he teach them? Why is he doing this? I do everything way up there. For me, every day it's a danger. That's why my wife asked me to go and get insurance.
Next on Epic Conditions, kiters ride a fine line between thrill-seeking and danger in the volatile weather of the Outer Banks.
You can get into trouble. You can get struck by lightning. You can get lofted up in a thermal. Too much wind, it's good, but there's a limit. Everything's so fast, you don't have time to react.
The same power that lifts kiters up can soon send them crashing down.
If you do it really, really wrong, the kite hits the water first, so you're up here and the kite pulls you down. That's a lot of force, taking you from 30 feet straight down to the water. What it's like to crash, it hurts. It really hurts. It's like pretty much hitting concrete. You really have to be able to respect the power that goes into these kites. If you don't respect it, you're going to get hurt.
The powerful force weather brings can turn on kiters in an instant.
A storm can come up and the winds can go from blowing 15 to 50.
Coming up, challenging Mother Nature's most treacherous conditions.
The rock was there, but it was like suicidal. All of a sudden, he just got lifted up. Next thing you know, he was going 200 feet in the air.
Today, high winds and huge waves draw some of the world's best kiteboarders. But even they can't contend with Mother Nature's most ferocious conditions.
We had a hurricane, I think it was Ophelia, and I went kiting. It was blowing really hard, like 60 miles an hour. It was a washout. It was like suicidal. You can use storms to go kiting, but you're putting yourself in more danger. The wind may ramp up, you may get a squall line, there may be a thunderhead moving in. We all heard the story about Benjamin Franklin and how he discovered electricity, so we don't want to rediscover it with our kites.
There's a lot of things that can happen if the weather rolls through. It could be water spouts. You want to just be as far away from as possible.
Even on seemingly calm days, invisible pockets of air can catch kiters off guard.
When the sun heats the ground, you get bubbles of warm air,
And there have been occasions where an updraft has caught the kite and lofted them up.
We call a kiteboarder's worst nightmare a kitmare. It's when everything you can think will possibly go wrong, it all goes wrong. The craziest kitmare I ever witnessed was a guy named Eric Eck. Had his kite overhead, and all of a sudden he just got lifted up. Next thing you know, he was going 200 feet in the air. Kite is basically a wing, so if you know what you're doing, you can get down safely.
This is where Meredith, Al, Ann, and I get to do something really stupid, try a sport that most people would consider a little bit dangerous. I recently met up with the people from Real Kiteboarding to find out what it was like to feel the rush of having my feet strapped into a surfboard and my body harnessed to a huge kite. Take a look. That looks very easy.
We're going to make it easy for you.
Yeah, you promise?
Well, we'll try and make it easy.
What's the learning curve for something like this?
The learning curve is pretty fast. We have a 3-day Zero to Hero kite camp, and in 3 days, people are self-sufficient, can fly the kite, get up on the board and ride, and have a good level of proficiency.
We have 3 hours.
3 hours, we're going to be able to give you the 1-2 punch, get you going. First fly the trainer kite, then the body drags, then up on the board.
All right, good luck.
We'll need it.
Okay. While I changed into my wetsuit, they brought in their #1 instructor, Katie. #1 for teaching all the beginner kid camps, that is. But I wasn't worried. I mean, how hard could it be to fly a kite?
I've rigged up the trainer kite. All right, let's put up this kite and see how you do. I'm going to pass you the kite. I'm going to give you the bar.
Whoa. And this is minor compared to the power of the kite I'm going to feel.
That's right. This is a 3-meter kite. We'll be on a 15-meter kite.
All right, that's freaking me out a little bit.
Well, you're doing great. You're handling the power like a champion.
Of this little 3-meter kite. Whoa!
All right, all right.
Like it's having its way with me right now. Then came the question I was dreading.
You ready to hit the water?
I'm ready to let this thing down. My arms are burning. It's all yours,
Yep.
Katie. Take it away. Truthfully, I didn't have a problem hitting the water as long as my feet didn't end up 30 feet above the water. I know most of these kiteboarders love that air rush, but I had no desire to be airborne, so Katie gave me some reassuring advice.
I weigh 105 pounds, so I can handle it. So you'll be fine.
You're going to make me feel bad the whole day, aren't you? Time to take what I learned on land to the water and master body dragging with a full-size kite before I even attempted to get up on the board. Doesn't it freak you out at all when it gets straight over your head? Because it felt like it was just going to flop down on top of me.
And it could. The #1 thing that you want to do is put tension on your lines. I'm going to need you to take the bar. Sheet up, sheet up, sheet up, sheet up, sheet up, sheet up.
Whoa! Okay, so that's the power of the kite.
That's the power.
Whoa! That happens in a hurry, doesn't it?
Yeah, so you're going to just let go. And you handle it while it hit the water.
Whoa. And so did I. That would be a kiteboarding face plant?
That's right. You did your first one.
That was one kiteboarding trick it didn't take long for me to master.
Pull it, pull it, pull it.
You have got to be kidding me.
Not as easy as it looks, is it?
It's not even close.
There's no way I was hanging on to that one.
Good call.
There was no way I was hanging on to that one. Now, dragging is supposed to be easier than boarding?
Yes, it is.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Well, I somewhat mastered body dragging, so Matt Nuzzo brought out the board and Katie showed me the ropes.
You bring the kite real aggressive down, and then turns it back up.
Easy as that, Matt.
I hate her.
All right, don't get too much enjoyment out of what you're about to see.
Getting closer.
For an instant, I really thought I might get up on this thing.
Okay, board off.
I'm going to get up on this thing.
Now the motivation comes. He's starting to feel it.
Pull it, pull it, pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stand up.
Yeah. Hand on the dismount.
What am I doing wrong that makes it just dive like that?
I think instead of going sideways, I need to point down that way a little more. Going as hard as I can, and I just can't get... Let's get up on this board. I got to dig my heels in more. I'm going to get up on this thing.
Okay, wait a second. So they normally have 3-day courses of 3 hours, but if you're asking, did he ever get up on the board?
Did you ever get up on the board?
No.
Roll the tape.
Look! Yes!
Wow.
See, there you go. That's it.
Wait.
No, that was it. That was it. We're out of time. No, we're out of time. We're out of time. No. Freezing the game. Freezing the game.
You know what? I think you did great. That's
Okay, this time. No! Okay, let's try it again, man. No! Okay, maybe this time. No!
You know what?